Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Advanced Water Heating Initiative's Residential Working Group call for September 16th, 2025. Great to have you with us. As always, I'm Joe Wachunas from New Buildings Institute. Got a packed agenda, so we'll dive right into it. As usual, we read our antitrust compliance statement. The Advanced Water Heating Initiative is a member-supported collaborative of professionals from across the U.S. This diverse membership includes numerous competitors, and care must be taken to scrupulously abide by federal and state antitrust laws. Members should remember that antitrust compliance is important at all times. This and other HPWH meetings, participants should not discuss competitive pricing, profitability, allocating markets or customers, or promotion of a particular product or accessory. Okay, great. Well, this is a look at our agenda today. We'll do our usual round of intros and updates. Then we're going to hear from Aobo about a new heat pump water heater incentive finder. I'm so excited about that. Then our residential working group co-lead, Owen Howlett, is going to give us just an update on some efforts at the California Energy Commission to count heat pumps and other programs coming as well. And finally, we'll hear from Sarah Chimberg from Midea as for our manufacturer spotlight on Midea's heat pump water heater. So should be a good, interesting session, and excited to dive into it and have you all here. Okay, well, let's start with what's dominating our minds and hopefully your minds for the month of October. We've got Heat Pump Water Heater Day. The sessions are mostly filled out. You can click on the link to the top to access the program. We've got amazing sponsors. Thank you to all of the sponsors you see on our screen for helping us have the moolah to put on this great event this day and week related to heat pump water heaters. A couple new items to let you know about. We now have some customizable badges with our theme of Go Heat Pump Water Heaters. These badges can help you have fun and show off your organization's work for heat pump water heaters. There's a customizable template in Canva, and that link should be live where you can make your own awesome badge. You can see Heat Pump Water Heater Man has a badge there. So let me know if you have any challenges with that, but hopefully it should be easy breezy and you can start posting. And speaking of posting, you'll want to get posting soon because, as we mentioned in our last working group, we've got free heat pump water heater giveaway. Two amazing manufacturers, Ariston and Bosch, have stepped up to donate heat pump water heaters as a raffle prize to those who post. So post anything about Heat Pump Water Heater Day, about why you love heat pump water heaters. Make a video of yourself saying go Heat Pump Water Heaters. We would love that. If you need ideas, there's a social press kit link here, and also the partner toolkit. We have made it really easy for you to get the word out about this event. Make sure you tag HPWH Day or Go Heat Pump Water Heaters. I think the second hashtag is not necessary, just Go Heat Pump Water Heaters. And we will be able to track you, and you can enter the raffle to win one of these awesome heat pump water heaters. Tell your friends and family about it. That person whose water heater is getting pretty old, they could win one of these new awesome water heaters. And just a little rundown of our events. Yes, Heat Pump Water Day is 10/23. If you click that link, you can see all of the amazing sessions for that day. It's going to be a nonstop day full of content. Also, some really fun things like a Heat Pump Water Heater Day song that we're working on. So a lot of fun and information that day. But we also have lots of events going on throughout the week. On Monday, the 20th, we're calling it Affordable Monday. Yeah, thank you, Susan. Yeah, Go Heat Pump Water Heaters. The hashtag should be in the chat. Affordable Monday, we're going to be looking at affordable housing and heat pump water heaters, other strategies to lower costs and resources. On 10/21, we're going to be talking about commercial heat pump water heaters and especially commercial kitchens and heat pump water heaters. You'll want to check out those sessions. And then 10/22, we're doing Installer Wednesday. We're doing a live heat pump water heater installation event in San Diego, partnering with PG&E. But you can join the live stream where we bring you some of the sessions live there. My colleague Noah Gabriel will be doing that. Okay, so lots is happening. And another thing to let you know about, my colleague Susan Harris is here to talk about our Excellence in Water Heating Awards. Susan.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for letting me join your meeting for just a minute or two. I wanted to make sure you were aware of the Excellence in Water Heating Awards program. We'll be recognizing leaders in advancing heat pump water heaters in the different markets. As part of Heat Pump Water Heater Day, there'll be a special event around lunchtime where our expert panel judges will be letting you know who the winners are this year for Excellence in Water Heating Awards, and we'll be giving awards in the residential market, commercial, also equitable programs, and installers and new construction. I know this meeting focuses on the residential market, but you may also know of other people, other programs doing good work in other areas. So I would love to hear from you. With the news that we're getting every day, it's nice to hear about the bright spots. Like, there's good work happening, let's shine a light on it. And that's what this program is all about. We want to let people know about the good work that's happening. So please tell us your stories. We've got an online form that shouldn't take too long. You can just give us some highlights, tell us who you'd like to nominate, and then we'll have a meeting with our panel judges to review them and make the tough decision about who will be given this year's recognition. Last year we had our first awards program, and you can see here on the slide the names of those award winners, and you can also read more about them at that link that I just shared in the chat. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. One question I get is, can I nominate my own organization? The answer is yes, you can. Go ahead and beat your own drum. We want to hear about it. My email is susan@newbuildings.org. I'll also put it in the chat, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Susan. Yes, nominate. Take a second right now as I'm blabbering on to get your nomination in for the Excellence in Water Heating Awards. Who should we be recognizing this year? Great. We've got another slide on the CalMTA Summit takeaways. We'll save that for the end since we are running a little over on our intro. And I want to just ask my colleague Vidisha Mubnar to come on and talk to us just for a second about the Golden State rebate. And FYI, we have an article coming out next week that's highlighting the top heat pump water heater rebates nationally. And so one rebate we wanted to highlight was Golden State. Vidisha, over to you.
Thanks, Joe. Good afternoon, everyone, and go heat pump water heaters. So yes, we do have an incentive article coming up, and it was during that time that we stumbled upon Golden State rebates, and someone told me it is unavailable. So out of curiosity, I did reach out to the people to make sure that why is it unavailable and would it be resuming soon? So answer is yes, it would be resuming soon. The fact that a lot of people took the rebates and have been using this pretty successful midstream approach is testament to the fact that this model really is successful in California. What really makes it outstanding and what challenges they encounter to get this started is something that forms for another interesting presentation. We'll delve deeper into that, but at some other point of time. But right now, I would like to call Jessica to just chime in quickly on what made this model really stand out in California on a statewide level. Hey, Jessica, would you like to come online?
Yeah. Hi, can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Yeah, I think the success of this program is really driven by engaging both the retail and wholesale market. And we are excited to be relaunching our offering this fall through mid-2026. As the program is outlined today, will stay the same for the fall into mid-2026. This California statewide plug load appliance program is going to be implemented by SCE starting in mid-2026. It's currently implemented by SDG&E. And per SCE's direction, heat pump water heaters and smart thermostats will not be considered plug load appliances once they inherit the program from SDG&E. So implementers were specifically asked not to include heat pump water heaters in their proposals for the SCE contract. And I just want to say that we hope to find a new home to continue offering this very successful program in California, starting in mid-26. Thank you.
Thanks, Jessica. Okay, so just to summarize, Golden State will be back this fall till mid-2026, but then its future is uncertain. Is there any anywhere folks can go if they, have positive things to say about Golden State to help support this rebate?
Oh, that's a great question. Let me follow up with my team and see if there's somewhere we can direct that feedback, and I'll reach back out to you.
Cool, and we can include that in our upcoming article on rebates as well. So I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping us posted. That's an important rebate in California. So thanks so much. Okay, great. Well, we are a little over time, so I'm going to move us on to, or actually, Vidisha, over to you to help introduce our next presenter.
Sure, Joe. Since we were talking about incentives and California, so in case you're interested to know what all incentives are available in California, and if I say you could prepare a quote in just less than 2 minutes, you would be surprised, right? So I'm going to invite the next presenter, Aobo, who is going to show us one really creative solution on how you can find out about all the incentives that are in California and can really make a quick decision on heat pump water heaters. Over to you, Aobo.
Thanks so much, Vidisha. Hi, everyone. I'm Aobo, and I'm going to talk a little bit about rebates and a tool I built to help calculate the rebate stack for any heat pump water heater project. The tool is active and being used in the Greater Bay Area, but I will be working on expanding this coverage. So if it doesn't seem relevant to you right now, hopefully it will be soon. I know most of you are familiar with rebates already, so I'll go through the first few slides rather quickly. But essentially, why do we care about rebates and making them easier to work with? Well, it's because rebates can significantly reduce the cost of heat pump water heater projects, which one can help motivate more people to choose a heat pump over other options, even just from that pure cost standpoint. But two, also magnifies our contributions to the energy efficiency and health outcomes of our communities. So rebates have a very significant role in enabling this really great market transformation. To make this impact slightly less abstract, on the left-hand side of this slide is an example of the current rebate stack available for a high-income customer in Mountain View, which is in the Bay Area, where a $9,000 heat pump water heater installation ends up costing just over $2,200 out of pocket for that customer. And on the right is a list of the current and recently active rebate programs for heat pump water heaters in the Bay, just to show the richness of what's available. Next slide, please. So rebate programs can be great, but they can also introduce some challenges, namely that there can be many programs active at any one time, all with their own rules for eligibility, their own rules for how they can be combined with other programs, and they can also change pretty frequently, which is what's being shown on the right. This is that same list of water heater rebates that I showed previously, but mapped against it is which ones have changed so far in 2025 or have announced upcoming changes. So as you can see, out of this list of maybe 20 or so different programs, only 2 have not made or planned any changes this year. And this is, again, just for the Bay Area. So this is one piece of that overall complexity challenge that we're grappling with. Next slide, please. To better visualize this complexity that's here overall, if you were figuring out rebates manually, which many of you have, you are essentially building out this logic tree or something very, very similar to this, whether it's on paper or in your head for every rebate you're evaluating, not to mention also updating this logic whenever there is a program change. And that obviously requires you to catch these program changes as they're happening. This can get complicated pretty quickly and introduces room for error. And this is really the part of the process that I am trying to help improve. Unfortunately, the complexity here actually works against the aim of all of these really great market transformation efforts, because what it does is that it impairs our confidence in being able to understand the rebates, to work with the rebates, to know what's going on so we can offer them to our customers or talk about them in our communities, to our neighbors, to encourage more heat pump adoption. Next slide, please. And restoring this confidence is essentially what I've been working on by simplifying the discovery and logic process through a tool I built called Greco for Trades. The tool is a rebate calculator that distills the complex and changing logic into a series of very straightforward questions that you answer about whatever heat pump water heater project you're looking at. And what it does is it outputs the rebate stack that is applicable for your particular project. Before we dive into a quick demo of the product, I wanted to share a few examples of how this tool fits into different parts of the ecosystem and how it's currently being used today. So for contractors, they use this tool to effortlessly stay informed and streamline their process for accurately incorporating rebates into their customer conversations so that they can explain to someone in less than 5 minutes, this is what you'll save and this is what your project is actually going to cost, which, as you can imagine, seeing that $9,000 to $2,200 example can help drive more mainstream adoption of heat pump water heaters, especially among income qualified communities. I actually had a conversation this morning with a contractor who's been using this tool, and he previously didn't work with rebates at all. And he helped an income qualified customer get a heat pump water heater at zero out-of-pocket cost because of the rebate stack that was available. So that was actually a pretty awesome start to my morning. For distributors and manufacturers, I have partnered with a distributor in the Bay Area who is bringing this tool to their contractor network. Having this to help contractors understand the value prop for shifting their business more towards heat pumps helps to encourage and support that contractor network in keeping up with the evolving market environment and evolving customer demand, and get comfortable talking about the benefits and installing more efficient heat pump equipment so that they are adapting and remaining competitive in this changing landscape. And then lastly, for utilities, workforce development organizations, others that are on the receiving end of a lot of questions and clarification about these programs, this is something that can be added to their support arsenal, so to speak, whether it's something that these organizations use themselves to more efficiently address these questions as they're receiving them, or something that they package up and can offer directly to the folks they're supporting so that the information is more self-serve and accessible to help accelerate this equitable market transformation. I'm in early conversations with a few organizations about partnering on this front, so hopefully I will have more updates on this to share soon. Next slide, please. For the rest of my time, I want to share with you a quick demo of how the rebate calculator actually works. If you wouldn't mind hitting play. Okay, great. That's it from me. I know we are over time already. Thank you so much for your time. And if you have any feedback you'd like to share or questions or are just interested in learning more, please reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. And here is my contact info. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I'm just talking on mute. Thanks, Aobo. I really appreciate it. Maybe a quick follow-up question. You know, what is the differentiating factor of this tool versus like other platforms like the switches on? Is it more? Do you have more in-depth information? But yeah, tell us about how it differentiates itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Switches On is obviously a great database and a great place to start, and a tool that many people are using today. The Switches On primarily works almost Wikipedia style. So you put in a zip code, you put in the project type, and it will list out for you the set of incentives that could possibly be associated with your project. What my tool does is that it takes it essentially one step further, and it distills a lot of the additional requirements that you would otherwise have to click into the different programs to read and figure out, and it presents them to you as, again, straightforward questions that you answer. So for example, is your water heater a storage water heater? What kind of fuel source is it? Are you working with someone who is the homeowner or someone who resides in the home, and are they the utility account holder? These are actually all parameters that go into figuring out someone's eligibility for these incentives that you won't really get to understand until you are diving deeply into the different rebate programs themselves. So essentially, what my tool does is it bridges the incredible database and information that the Switches On has amassed and takes it one step further to make the calculation very straightforward.
Cool. Thanks for that helpful and succinct explanation. That's great. And Rajiv is asking if you can drop a link to the tool in the website, if that's shareable, or in this chat.
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks, Aobo. Really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks so much for coming on and keep us posted as the tool evolves. Yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, great. Well, we'll move on. We have Owen Howlett here. You can see on camera from California Energy Commission, here to talk to us about some heat pump water heater efforts at CEC. Owen, I'll turn it over to you. We've got about 15 minutes total, and then we'll turn it over to Midea. Thanks so much.
Great. Thanks, Joe. And feeling a little self-conscious now because, of course, Aobo's presentation highlights just how complicated all of our rebate structures are in California, and maybe that's something that we should try to fix. Anyway, let me take control of the slides here. So just to introduce myself, my name's Owen Howlett. I'm a supervisor in the efficiency division at the California Energy Commission. So one of the projects that we've been working on over the past few months is to get a count of how many heat pumps we have in California. Now, sorry for the California centricness of this of today's AWHI meeting, but I want to make the point that what we're doing here in California is something that I think is actually going to be beneficial in a lot of other states too. I'll get into why in a minute. Let me just outline what the who, what, and the why of this. So the project that we have is to track progress towards the state's goal of 6 million heat pumps by 2030. This is a goal that was set out by Governor Newsom. He set that out in a letter to the California Air Resources Board back in July of 2022. And he set out a number of things he wanted to see in terms of the state's progress toward heat pump installations. The first one was 3 million homes that are, quote, climate ready and climate friendly, which we define as having 2 major heat pump end uses in them. And he wanted to increase that to 7 million homes by 2035. And then here's the part where we come in, quote, supplemented by 6 million heat pumps by 2030. And those are heat pump water heaters and heat pump space heaters, but not refrigerators. They don't count, or not ACs in your car. We mean new heat pumps for water and space heating in buildings. He also wanted to see 50% of the investments in those coming to low-income and disadvantaged communities. So the job of my team in the efficiency division was to try and track our progress toward the goals that Governor Newsom has set out. Now, big reveal, we didn't know how many heat pumps we have. It's very hard, it turns out, to find how many heat pumps are installed in your state. There is no clicker that increments every time somebody installs a heat pump. So we had to go back to various sources of information on this. It turned out to be quite difficult and to occupy our time for a few solid weeks. So that's something, and that's part of why I think it's something that other states should perhaps look into as well, is that anytime you're trying to achieve something, if you don't measure the thing you're trying to achieve, you're probably not going to be making a whole ton of progress toward that goal. And when we looked, we found out that this is a very hard thing to track. So our our goal for Chair Hochschild is, and this is on the second bullet here at the bottom of the slide, our goal for Chair Hochschild is that we want to provide him with a quarterly update on progress toward that 6 million heat pump goal. Now, why? What's the point of all this? Part of it is that if we want to make strategic decisions about how to approach or how to support future heat pump installations, we need to know where the remaining heat pumps are. We need to know like what building types already have a high penetration of heat pumps, which ones don't, and what sort of heat pumps are being installed and which ones aren't. So there's a lot of technical benefit to knowing how many heat pumps we have installed to help us plan. But also this is there's a sort of public relations value to this too. It's something where we can track our progress. You know, when we hit 2 million, we'll have a little press party. When we get 3 million, we'll have a press party. And we can also project forward whether we're actually going to hit the goal. So we can draw a line that, you know, keeps going up. And the question is it going up fast enough to get to the goal that the governor has set for us? So there's a lot of both technical benefits to counting heat pumps and also public interest and sort of political angle to doing this. And just to let you know, the count, when we make the count public, it will be available both on our own CEC website and on the Building Decarbonisation Coalition website, and they're supporting us in some of this work. So where are we? The most I can tell you without losing my job right now is that our Q4 2024 estimate was 1.9 million heat pumps. That's the latest number we have. We have a pretty high degree of confidence in that number. And I will explain in a second where that number comes from.
So thank you.
Part of our goal is to project how well we're doing in terms of taking that forward. So the three lines there on the graph are our current projection of where things are heading if nothing changes, and then the dark blue would be the goal we're trying to get to if we took steady incremental steps towards 6 million. That would be the dark blue line, and then the orange line is really just it's a sanity check. The orange line is if we manage to convert every heat pump, every gas furnace to a heat pump when it's replaced, and if we manage to replace every gas water heater with a heat pump when it's replaced, that would be the orange line. So that's not achievable, but that's the theoretical maximum. So what are we using to get this data? This is where things get interesting, I think, in terms of what we know and and the resolution with which we know it. So in California, we have a pretty good baseline, and that baseline tells us that we had 1 million heat pumps installed in 2019. And we believe that's very accurate data because that comes from two statewide surveys that are statistically significant. One is the Residential Appliance Saturation Survey. The other is the Commercial End Use Survey. Other states have similar surveys that you could rely on for that kind of very detailed information. But if you don't have that kind of survey, I recommend it's something you might want to look into. So the baseline we have from 2019, we think is pretty good. What else do we know in terms of what's happened since 2019? Well, then things start to get less focused. So for new construction, we have pretty good data. We have a pretty accurate estimate for new construction because we know how many homes have been built, and we know from permit data how many of those homes had heat pumps installed. So that data has a bit of a lag on it, but we think it's pretty accurate, and we can use it to forecast into the immediate future. So new construction is pretty good. Alterations is an area where we are struggling quite a bit. We have very little accurate data about what is happening in existing buildings. You know, what projects people are doing in existing buildings to install heat pumps. We have tried pulling data from various permit data sets. That turns out to be extremely difficult and actually gives us way fewer, a much smaller total than we know it should be, because there's not very much detail in the permit data. What we have been able to do just for our internal count is we've been in contact with all of the utility programs around the state that provide incentives for heat pumps or do direct install of heat pumps. So we've been able to count those pretty accurately, but we know that there must be additional heat pumps installed beyond the ones that are incentivized by programs. And then lastly, for the whole market, we have almost no data at all about the whole market. We we have some national level data that covers both heat pumps for space heating and heat pumps for water heating, but all of that data is national in scope and does not accurately tell us what's happening in a given state. And if that's true in California, that's going to be even more true in other states that are smaller and have more commerce across state boundaries. So and those are things that we are seeking to change. So at the moment we're looking at trying to acquire some more data from the heating, air conditioning, and refrigeration distributors group, Hardy. We're also looking at a rulemaking in California to ensure that information from distributors, wholesalers, and retailers about heat pumps is shared with the Energy Commission, so we understand how many units are being sold and roughly where they're being sold. And at the very, very bottom of the slide here, I've got a link to, well, you won't be able to access the link, but I will put it in chat later, to the energy data collection and rulemaking. That's a rulemaking that's very live right now, and where we're asking manufacturers and others to provide us with certain kinds of data.
Oh, and that link is actually live, by the way.
Oh, it is live? Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Amazing what they can do these days. So just to give you a graphical take on the market coverage right now of our heat pump count, like how many of the heat pumps are we actually able to count? We're able to count the ones in the red box right now. So that's new construction, we've got a pretty good take on, and alterations that are done through programs. Once we get outside that red box, we currently don't have much accuracy of count. So we're hoping this year or next to expand into the green box, which will mean we can count some permit data and find out how many heat pumps are being installed outside of programs. And then eventually to the blue box, which is trying to find out about all the unpermitted work. The only way we can find out about unpermitted work is through high level market assessments, like how many, information from manufacturers or distributors about how many units are being sold. So this is an area where there's a lot of opportunity here for manufacturers and distributors to work with us to help generate these counts and to work together toward on some planning, to identify where are the areas where heat pumps are currently not being sold very successfully, and could we do more in those areas to focus regulatory changes or program funds or improvements to code or permitting. What can we do to free up some of those areas and allow more heat pumps to go into those spaces? And we are very dependent on manufacturers and distributors to help us to find and understand that data. I think that's all I wanted to say. I have a few minutes for questions, I hope. Joe?
Awesome. Thanks, Owen. Yeah, feel free to raise your hand or put questions in the chat. I had a couple that I was jotting down as you were presenting. My first is that, it sounds like we feel pretty confident that we've gone from 1 million in California to 1.9 million from 2019 to 2024. That to me presents like a good illustration of the challenge. So, we've gone, California has increased heat pump totals by 1 million in 5 years. And in the next 5 years, they would have to quadruple that, get another 4 million to get to 6 million. Does that seem roughly right, that as far as the amount of effort?
You're accurately characterizing the challenge. Yes. I will say, we have, in the past 5 years, we have doubled our number of heat pumps installed, which so that, we're doing pretty well in the geometric progression, but yeah, there's certainly further to go. And also say the significant majority of the new heat pumps that have been installed in the last 5 years come from new construction. That is the biggest wedge in the graph by a long way, is heat pumps that are either mandatory or kind of mandatory in new construction under the Title 24 regulations.
That's super interesting, especially for water heaters, right? That's one of the biggest drivers. So the
yeah,
retrofit
and this is part of the reason why this is such an instructive exercise to go through, and I'm recommending that others will go through it too. It'll tell you a lot, because when you look at programs, the number of water heaters that are being installed through programs is a drop in a bucket compared to the number of water heaters that we need to install statewide and nationally. So it makes you think, what are the programs for? Like, what's the role of the program? Because we aren't going to get to the level of market penetration that we need to get to only with programs. The programs have to be a tool to unlock something greater.
Would it be also, what are your thoughts on it? It just, that maybe also shows that the policies have more impact. The policies of new construction kind of virtually requiring heat pumps and heat pump water heaters are driving the majority of the installations.
Yeah, that's certainly been the case so far. Yeah.
Other question, when do you think the you mentioned in the slides that BDC will be showing or having a dashboard? What's the timeline for that, so folks can kind of see this number live?
Actually, it could be fairly imminent. We got approval the other day to share the numbers, so that could be live very soon. I will let you know.
Great, that'll be a great resource to get out. Yeah, data chat community. Great. Fantastic. Any other thoughts or questions? Same stuff here. Well, thanks, Owen. Really appreciate it. Yeah, excited to see the dashboard when it's ready. And yeah, 4 million heat pumps and heat pump water heaters in 5 years. Got to do it. So yeah,
thanks.
Thank you. All right, great. Perfect. Well, thanks again to Owen and Aobo. We are now to our last Sandy. Oh, sorry, let me go back. Oh, I got to control. Sorry about that. Maybe Owen, you could answer Sandy's chat comment. Great. Well, we invited, as we do, we extend the invitation to all manufacturers to the HPWH residential working group, just to spotlight what they're doing and what are some of the innovations they're bringing to the market. One we have not had on before is Midea, a manufacturer out of China who is making a lot of products, including heat pump water heaters. So we wanted to talk about their heat pump water heater and their plans for it in the US market. So great. I would love to welcome Sarah to the conversation. Sarah, if you're on and want to turn on your video, that's great. And feel free to grab control of the slides. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Hi, Joe. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. So my name is Sarah Chimberg. I'm a regulatory engineer at Midea America Research Center. And today I'm going to be giving you an overview of Midea, as well as introducing our new heat pump water heater lineup. Joining me are my colleagues, Tiffany and Vish, who will assist with any technical questions and help address inquiries in the chat. So to start, let me introduce Midea for those of you who aren't familiar with us. Midea is a global appliance and air conditioning company headquartered in Guangdong, China. We were founded in 1968, and since then we've grown into a multi-billion-dollar company with over 166,000 employees worldwide. We are one of the largest producers of home appliances globally, as well as the world's #1 smart home appliances brand. Midea America serves as our local entity with a headquarters in New Jersey and an R&D center in Kentucky. Our Midea America Research Center, which we call MARC, is in Louisville, Kentucky, and that's where I'm located. And we currently have over 100 employees. As well as we are undergoing a $35 million expansion that is set to complete next year. We cover R&D for all home appliances, products from water heaters to dishwashers to ice makers. At Midea, our philosophy is to create consumer-focused solutions while continuously exploring innovations for the future. As a global company, our portfolio spans a wide range of brands and businesses. Midea's vertical integration is a key differentiator. It allows us to manufacture our own compressors and fan motors through GMCC and Welling. This ensures superior quality and efficiency across our product lineup. Our consumer-centric product development has a proven track record with leading products such as the Midea Duo Portable AC, the Cube Dehumidifier, and the Midea U Window AC. We are also actively participating in the DOE Cold Climate Heat Pump Challenge, further expanding our presence in the HVAC industry. Recently, Midea won the Nitro Clean Heat for All Challenge by developing a saddle-style window unit that operates with 100% heating capacity down to 5 Fahrenheit and has up to 5,000 BTUs at -22 Fahrenheit. Our PWHP utilizes R32 refrigerant with a vapor injection compressor and has DC indoor and outdoor fan motors. It also features an active defrost system without the use of any electric resistance heaters. This product operates on 120 volts and has a self-contained condensate system, so no electrical or condensate upgrades need to be made in order to use this product. As a global leader in heat pump innovations, we are proud to be vertically integrated, owning both our compressor and fan manufacturing companies. Having this strong background, we're slated for success with developing a top-tier efficient heat pump water heater, which we are calling our combo. So our current heat pump water heater lineup has 3 capacities. We have a 50, a 65, and an 80 gallon with UES of 3.75 and above. We are certified to Energy Star, NEA Tier 4, and CEE Advanced Tier. And these products are currently available through our distribution partners. Our heat pump water heater is designed for consistent worry-free performance, offering features like leakage prevention, automatic shutoff, and frost protection. It operates reliably across a wide ambient temperature range from 5 Fahrenheit to 115 Fahrenheit. We also have optional duct connections available for our through our distributors. Our heat pump water heater combines durability and efficiency with cutting-edge design. The enamel-coated tank resists corrosion and scaling, ensuring years of reliable hot water with minimal maintenance. The porcelain coating acts as a shield, protecting against wear and extending the life of the system. Pairing that with our microchannel condenser coil technology, which is a compact, high surface area design that maximizes heat transfer for faster, more efficient water heating and optimized refrigerant charge, and you're resulted with lower energy bills, superior performance, and dependable hot water on demand. Our advanced leakage detection system includes a circuit in the condensate pan that automatically shuts off water to the inlet if moisture is detected, ensuring peace of mind for homeowners. The heat pump water heater features a self-diagnosis system that safeguards against high tank temperatures, high pressure, and overcurrent. Additionally, an engineering mode is available to assist with troubleshooting and diagnostics. The units are equipped with CTA 2045 ports, which enable customers to participate in demand response programs for enhanced energy management. Our control panel has, we have a control panel on the front of the unit, and there are 5 operating modes: hybrid, vacation, heat pump, high demand, and electric heating, allowing users to tailor performance to their specific wants and needs. Our heat pump water heater integrates seamlessly with the Midea Smart Home app, which provides users with convenient remote control and monitoring capabilities. And then for reference, we've included detailed technical parameters for easy access and review if you go back and want to check out these slides after the presentation. So thank you for having me. If you have any interest in purchasing the units. I've included our heat pump water heater sales lead, Jim's son, his email in here. And then we're definitely open to working with utilities to support developing incentive programs. So if that's something of interest, please reach out to me. I'd love to work with you and provide more information on our product.
Sure, thanks so much. Really appreciate that. Great presentation. Really exciting that Midea is, active in the market with the heat pump water heater being such a big manufacturer of appliances. So just welcome folks to raise your hand or put questions in the chat as usual. I can start us off. You talked a little bit starting off about the window package terminal heat pump, the saddlebag heat pump that we've been hearing a lot about in Midea and winning that challenge in New York. Are there any lessons learned from that technology that you're incorporating into the water heater that you want to highlight? Because I'm sure that took a lot of research, and it's a very innovative product class in general. Yeah. So anything that went from that package terminal heat pump into your heat pump water heater?
So it's packaged window heat pump, PWH.
Oh, sorry. Packaged window.
Yeah, the terminal
Yeah,
are the
yes,
ones
yeah,
that are in
right through the wall. Yeah. Thank you.
Hotel.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, our packaged window heat pump, which is the saddle style product that operates down to -22 degrees and is the 120 volt. The biggest learning curve for us with that was actually was technology that is not included in the heat pump water heater. The majority of the components that we used were components that we've previously used in numerous other products in the past, which again is like one of the really big benefits of us being vertically integrated is we have a direct relationship with our compressor manufacturer and or compressor and fan and other part manufacturers in order to we can reuse then parts, or we can also optimize parts as necessary in order to increase their performance. But we've been in the heat pump water heater market. We started making them, I believe, in the early 2000s. So this really isn't new to us. This is just new to us in the US.
Got it. Okay. Well, we can come back to, I'd love to talk about some of the international lessons learned in different products, but I saw this in your slide, and Josh Butzba is wondering about this, the operating range for the compressor. Did I hear right? You can operate down to 5 degrees Fahrenheit for the heat pump water heater?
The 5 degrees, the heat pump water heater itself operates down until 5F, but that may just be the electric heaters. Vish or Tiffany would be able to answer that better. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it only operates up to 30 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas 5 is just the element mode, pretty much.
Yeah, got it. Okay. So 30 degrees on the compressor, and then down to 5 with electric resistance. Okay. Great. Thanks for that. Great. Well, the other questions I was kind of thinking about during your presentation were, you're entering, you've been in the market for, you're not totally brand new to the market, but for a little while, but it is becoming a crowded field. Where does Midea see the opportunities for a heat pump water heater, just in general? Where what appeals to your skill set in entering this market now with a lot of, I think we're up to 12 manufacturers, which is exciting.
Well, so we OEM for multiple manufacturers as well. We see ourselves, we're going to be very strong with making a cost-efficient product as well as a reliable product. We have been in this industry for so long that we've worked out all of the major issues. So until we're transitioning to, like, right now, this isn't a new technology. As we transition to new refrigerants, that could potentially change with new products, new components, I guess, in your system. So I think we see ourselves just as a very strong manufacturer who's able to make a very efficient product that is great for the majority of the market.
Great. Yeah. And cost decline seems super important. So that's great to hear that that's something that you want to offer with your product. Yeah, Josh is asking a good question about how do folks purchase Midea heat pump water heater? Is it through distributors solely, dealers, any retail presence?
Currently, it's through distribution only. Through our distributors, yeah.
Okay. Does Midea have any thoughts on, we've seen, some workforce development challenges in the heat pump water heater space. How are you helping to train, contractors on your product, answer questions, service related or otherwise? Talk to us a little bit about how you engage with the contractor community.
So we have a very strong distribution network, and they're responsible for the training and the aftermarket. So we perform numerous contractor trainings for our specific product, and that is done all through our distributors.
Okay. Fantastic. Great. Where do you see some of the questions that were laid out by Owen and getting to 6 million heat pumps and heat pump water heaters in California, and then nationwide, with the goal of getting to as many heat pumps, water heaters as possible. Any thoughts from a manufacturer perspective on key points that need to happen in order to make this market transformation accelerate?
I think having a heavy focus on contractor trainings as well as rebates and incentives in order to get these into the hands of consumers to where they don't have a higher upfront cost will be hugely beneficial. I also think just as time goes on and more consumers learn about this product category as a whole, that it's an obvious answer to choose a heat pump water heater over an electric one. And additionally, I guess the DOE minimums that are going into effect in 2029 will require that many consumers, transition. So
great. And then maybe we can circle back to that question about Midea being accustomed to heat pumps for many years in international markets. Talk to us about any lessons you care to, or any product differences that you care to share with your international perspective on water heaters and heat pump water heaters internationally. Is there anything that could benefit the U.S. market, do you think? Any differences that you see between the U.S. and other markets?
We have R290 heat pump water heaters in Europe, which would be great to offer in the US if and when our building codes and our, when our building codes and our regulations are okay with us transitioning to A3s. So I definitely, if we could push for, which there are many groups that are trying to push for more A3 usage in the US. So that would be very helpful for us as well as the industry.
Yeah. Okay. So R290. And for some European products, is that usually in are those in tower products, split systems? Any? Do you know?
I don't recall, Tiffany or Vish. If you guys know, you can chime in.
We do have a European heat pump water heater that uses R290. I'm not as familiar with our central products, but maybe we can send more information from our other colleagues through email.
Yeah, great. And split system can absolutely be, of course, central systems, but John is putting in the chat as well. From a manufacturer that's making this alternative form factor heat pump and the saddlebag heat pumps. Do you have any thoughts about a split heat pump for the residential scale where the outdoors, there's a compressor, and inside's the tank. And he's asking about maybe one with minimal facade modifications required.
We're aware of the need for this product, and I think as the market drives the demand, we will determine whether or not that's a path that we'll go down. So I definitely, that is a request that we have heard before, and that we'll take into consideration.
Great. Maybe just a nuts and bolts question that, I see quieter operation. Do you have any like levels for the sound from your heat pump water heater, decibel levels?
Yeah, so we meet NEA Tier 4, and it's on the spec sheet. I believe it's 49.5. I cannot read.
It is 49.5. I'm not sure what
Okay.
happened to the slide.
Okay.
Oh, it's illegible for everybody? I thought it was just me. Okay.
Maybe it just when you copied it over to the master deck. Yeah.
Yeah.
That can happen sometimes.
So 49.5 to meet NEA Tier 4 requirements.
Okay, great. And maybe last question from me. A lot of manufacturers, and I imagine including Midea, are navigating tariffs. What can you say to us about how should we expect heat pump water heater prices to rise due to tariffs? Any thoughts on how tariffs will affect heat pump water heater sales?
The tariffs are changing constantly, so I'm not sure that I can speak to that. I think Jim Sun would be able to answer that question better. If the tariffs increase, then we would expect that there would be price increases. And if they decrease, there would likely be price decreases, just as required. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for that. Thanks for that information. Great. Well, I think I'm not seeing any other questions in the chat. I think we've answered all of them. So thanks so much, Sarah. Thanks for being on. Thanks for that great presentation. Thanks for Midea for bringing this water heater to the United States, and look forward to seeing how it comes to market across the US. So thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Great. Well, that's it from us here. We are pretty much at time. Huge thanks, everybody, for joining us. We will send out slides and recording in the next day or so. And we will be taking October off because we've got a big month with Heat Pump Water Heater Day. So we will see you for the Heat Pump Water Heater Day festivities and sessions. And then we'll catch you again at the Residential Working Group meeting in November. Thanks to everybody, and we'll see you soon.